Prince Charles once said that humanity faces many threats, but none are as great as the threat of climate change. In the damaging of our climate, we are becoming the architects of our destruction. Now, as I want to continue about this speech, I want to talk about what he's referring to. And he's referring to global warming. And there are very important things about that, specifically like talking about the greenhouse effect, climate change, how we how we emit those greenhouse gases and who does it. It's just important to know the facts. So I'm going to start off talking about how global warming is actually a very controversial topic. As most of us know, there are many approaches to this, and the standpoints that people come from are pretty different. But the Geological Society of America says that scientific advances have greatly reduced previous uncertainties about recent global warming. Measurements have shown a 0.85 degrees Celsius warming trend since 1880. It is consistent with 1, the retreat of northern hemisphere snow and Arctic ice, 2, the greater heat storage in the ocean, 3, the retreat of most mountain glaciers, and 4, the ongoing rise in global sea level. So what it's pretty much saying is that when the northern hemisphere, it has a lot of ice and glaciers and snow, and so when those things start to melt, it decides to put more water into the ocean because it just adds more water content, which then goes with the fact that the global sea level is rising. But George Luger has stated that the climate change science points to an increase of sea surface temperature. That there is an increase of severity of extreme weather events, declining air quality, and destabilizing natural systems due to increases in the greenhouse gas emissions. So these greenhouse gas emissions are actually tied into the greenhouse effect. Now, the greenhouse effect is a term that scientists have coined that describe exactly how global warming happens. So what happens in the greenhouse effect? The sun rays enter the atmosphere and they hit the surface of the earth. They are slightly absorbed and lose a bit of their energy. But as they attempt to leave the Earth's atmosphere, they can't because they've lost their energy slightly by absorption into the surface, and then they have also they have been disrupted by the fossil fuels that we burn on a daily basis, and it's constant throughout the day. And those fossil fuels include coal, oil, and gas. And when those things are burning, they give out a carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and that's what causes those sun rays from leaving the Earth's atmosphere. And then that's why the Earth is warming, because those sun rays, the heat rays, are staying in our atmosphere. Now, going on, Dianne Feinstein says that the U.S. emits about 25% of the world's greenhouse gases, and we are 4% of the population. So it's pretty much saying that we are the biggest producers. The industry is 20%, the agriculture is 7%, commercial and residential are both 6.5%. These are very important. It's just giving you the facts about what global warming is. It's including the greenhouse effect, how it affects the Earth, and there's the specific details about climate change and what the effects of global warming could be. What it could be. And that there also are Earth has its natural ways of taking care of this global warming, and that would include the coral reefs and the rainforest. And the coral reefs will absorb carbon in their calcium carbonate shells, and it entraps them. So they don't ever actually leave unless people will go run boats over them, and they like to take the coral reefs away from their natural habitat to put them in their own fish tanks at home. Those are just some interesting facts about that specifically, but the rainforests and the coral reefs are the main contributors to helping global warming, and it's just Earth's natural way of living. Now, overall, though, global warming, it has climate change, it has the greenhouse effects, it has all of these natural, beautiful things that the Earth has created that has given us the opportunity to work on global warming, and it's just something to know. It's something to be aware about.